As the global elites dine on the finest cuts of Wagyu beef, they stay up late at night worrying about cows.
Globally, cows and other livestock are responsible for about 40% of methane emissions, a potent greenhouse gas. In digesting their high-fiber diet, cows emit methane as a byproduct, making them one of the least climate-friendly sources of food on the planet.
They want fewer cows and restrictions on the ones that are left.
Agriculture contributes about 33% of all the emissions of the world. We can't get to net zero. We don't get this job done unless agriculture is front and center. We've got to push more. We've got to be more militant, maybe.
Mr. Militant, Claymation, must be thrilled to see that, according to the USDA, beef cattle inventory has hit its lowest level in decades. We're actually running low on cows. Now, to put this into perspective, the last time inventory was this low, outgoing climate czar John Kerry was testifying before Congress about ending the Vietnam War. Now, what does that all mean for you? Some ranchers say a food crisis may be in our future. I'm joined by two of them now. Shad Sullivan is a cattle rancher based in Texas and Colorado, and John Boyd Jr. is a fourth-generation cattle rancher and founder of the National Black Farmers Association. John, let's start with you. I know you're dealing with the effects of the previous drought, but when you add up all the factors and the political pressures that are brought to bear here, how bad could this get for the American consumer of beef?
Well, the farmers are going out of business every day. And what's happening is America's beef cattle producers are depleting their herds. So they're not having more calves so they can multiply. We are producing 1 billion pounds less of American beef than we were last year this time. So this is a crisis that's going to affect every American at the local grocery stores. But here's what's problematic for me. We help all of these other foreign countries, $100 billion to Ukraine and help Ukraine farmers, but we won't help America's farmers right here at home. We have farmers facing farm foreclosure, and USDA will not stop farm foreclosures in this country for direct loans, guaranteed loans, and other agricultural lenders. And I've made that request on your network many times. We're down to 40,000 Black farmers in this country. And guess what? We're facing extinction. And these policies aren't helping cattlemen like myself stay on the farm. We have the highest input cost that you've seen in decades. Diesel fuel prices going through. And this is why farmers can't stay on the farm.
But this is what they want.
Policies that can help us stay on
John,
the
this
farm.
is what they want. High energy costs hurt Americans. And Shad, I know you're chomping at the bit here, to use a phrase relevant to horses and cows. But what is your take here on how and why this is happening beyond the cyclical effects of weather?
Yeah, you bet. John, what John is talking about is a symptom of the overreaching problem. And the overreaching problem is globalism. It's the global elites claiming that climate change is ruining the world and that we must implement sustainability, which is just production and consumption control across the world. We see it going on all over. That because of this, it is because we're becoming vertically integrated in our system. The beef cattle industry is the last bastion of freedom. And so we have to take the bull by the horns, so to speak, and stop these global elites from implementing all of this, these regulations, these sustainable regulations that they claim that cattle are ruining the planet. And we have to stop that and make sure people understand that sustainability is nothing but communism, any ism except Americanism, and it's coming from the top down. We are a nation whose laws are from the bottom up, and we need to be controlling that. John is right in everything that he says, but it's a symptom of what is going on, and we have to get on top of that. Otherwise, we will see Americans eating bugs in the next 20 years, as we know that two of the four major meat packers have invested heavily in bugs. One, Tyson Foods, announcing 2 weeks ago that they're going to build a $500 million plant for crickets. So this problem is real, but it's a liberty and freedom issue. And that's where we have to focus on. We have to stop this.
John, really quickly, you saw what's going on, and you've seen what's going on in Europe, and the European farmers protesting en masse in Paris and in Germany, Norway, goes on and on. They want to take their land, and they want to put a lot of those farmers out of business. Why, John? Why? Real quick.
And they're doing the same thing in these countries because they're seeing the same things that we're seeing right here in the United States, and stuff. We've been too quiet here. And you know, I looked at that climate bill and the monies that they put out there, $3 billion, and it went to large companies like Pepsi Cola, you know, who hasn't contracted. I mean, why are we funding Pepsi Cola to find black farmers to do some kind of climate outreach? And I can promise you right now, no one has contacted us. We haven't got a dime of those resources that they say are to help farmers like us. That's the problem. So the monies go to everywhere else. They go to foreign countries. They go to Ukraine. They go to Ukraine farmers. And nobody's saying anything about it. And what I'm saying today is the president hasn't came to the table to have a meeting to even discuss these issues.
You need a new president. Yeah, you need a new president. That's what has to happen. This isn't going to get any better.
While the grass is growing, the cows are starving, and that young man over there understands what I'm saying. We need action, and we need it now. And we need leadership, and we need it now. Put America's farmers first, not last. And if we don't, we're going to be begging third world countries to send us some food if we don't start putting farmers first in this country.
Just as we were doing during COVID for medicine, we want to do the same thing for food, even though we're totally sustainable in the United States. Shad and John, let them eat bugs. That's what they want.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.